Good morning. What's up, guys? What's up? How we doing? Today, thus far, has been... Oh, what is there to say? We have 2 bear bars in the last... 36 minutes. So, let's take a look here, man. We might be putting in our 3rd here. But we have had 2 intraday trends in... maybe what ends up being adjusting to be more of a trend market. I still got to think, hey, range. But today, I got to tell you guys, today is by far the most trend-like day we have seen. I'm not bullshitting you, in probably 4 months, which is good news. So let's see if we can make something of it here. Hopefully the movement kind of continues. ATR on the 2-minute chart, 20.6, which is pretty good for this time of day. Let's see if it holds up. Yesterday, it kind of started to collapse. We're kind of between now and the next half hour. So hopefully we can hold that up and get some things going here. 52 seconds out. Okay, we're looking at a 2-minute chart for anybody new. Let's see if we can put something together here. Chris Castle, good morning. Kevin, how we doing? Lurt, Gaines, what's up, brother? Vinny, Javadi, Joe, how we doing? Derek, good morning. ABB, good to see you. Hey, Scott, what's up, brother? All right, 26 seconds out. All right, let's get the copy trader ready. Again, we are on a 2-minute chart, ATR 21. We will keep that in mind. Put our head down, scalp what is currently sitting as, I gotta tell you, kind of a trend. Move that out of the way. Volatility is a bit high. Let's see if we get a close. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold off on that bar. Next bar it is, 2 minutes off. See that inside close? We got an immediate pop through. However, you know, I gotta tell you right now, the correct thing for me to be doing is look for any excuse to get long. And if we get stopped out, so what? We move on and try to get long again. It needs to be a reasonable excuse. I can't just be buying anything. Good on that path. For me, it's more of a principle thing. Stay within the guidelines as far as my own rules that I set for myself. Nobody else, but I set for myself. And it's about the principle of it, you know. I gotta have some kind of reasonable way to get long. Could you just buy at any time? Could I buy right now? Yeah, probably. But I'm uncomfortable doing so because that would technically be a rule break. And then now we're in more gray area than we're already in as traders. I'm not into it. It's been a long road, and I don't want to trade, you know, waiting 52 seconds for a close of a bar just to get long right now, you know what I mean? But will I put out some middle bar trades here today if it fits? Like maybe a stop limit buy above the previous wick? Sure, yeah. Yeah, we might be doing some of that, but let's just... Right now, man, as long as this holds up, any reasonable way to get long, we're gonna do. Hey, Wolf, 5 minute, what's up, guys? All right, 20 minutes out. I'm sorry, 20 seconds out here. Copy trader engaged. Okay, interesting. We're getting a close beneath that previous bar's wick. But it's the first bear bar, so if we get 2, that would be a short decision. But right now, you know what that is? That's a buy decision. Has to be a buy decision, at least for me. Place that guy there. Move that guy up just a tad. ATR is 21. See if we can get, you know, we're looking half to a whole ATR on these trades here today. Nice push. Take half an ATR. Next trade, minute 40 out. Want to watch the rest of this bar since that was the most sizable bear bar we've had. Is it good for a scalp? Yeah, it's good for a scalp. Would I hold it and trail it out for, you know, 45 minutes? No, not on that entry, I wouldn't. On this entry, maybe we would. Maybe I'd manually move the stop up. Of course, that's hindsight, but even in the moment, man, when you get this big of a curl, 1 bear bar, and at that time was, you know, damn near 20 minutes, something to think about. So, I'm not a huge fan of arbitrary trailing stops, but it's a tool, and you can use a tool at your discretion. I prefer to more do it manually, just kind of drag it up beneath each individual bar, maybe every other bar, every third bar, however you want to manage it. Doing it more often, of course, is going to lower your average trade duration. Something to also think about. Okay, 46 seconds out here from the close of this 2-minute. How you guys doing today, by the way? I know we're having fun today, huh? Well, hopefully. I know some of you guys out there, I don't want you to feel alone because this is trading and I understand. I get it. I've been there. It's been a range. And today it's trend. And some of you guys might have gotten blown out today. That's okay. What's the lesson there? The lesson is you didn't adjust for context quite quickly enough. And maybe you averaged in and didn't see, maybe we're turning into more of an intraday trend here. And what happens when that happens? When you've been in a range market for 3 months, you give back all your profits for the last 2.5, 3 months on one single trade, which is, no fun. So try not to do that again if you did that here today. For the rest of you guys, or for the other half of you guys, I don't want to speak as if it's obviously the majority, because that's not necessarily true who's doing well today. But for those of you guys who are riding the trend today and you kind of caught that context, early and you rode the trend, I bet you guys are having fun, huh? Minute 36 out. All right. Especially if we get to close above this wick here, 267 and higher. Any excuse to get long is my motto here this morning. And about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, it was, hey, any excuse to get short. Now, if you're swing trading, by the way, your average trade today might take a little bit longer. Your stops are going to be pretty wide. If you want to size down your contracts to adjust for that risk, have at it. If you want to go big, baby, you're an adult, have at it. But if you're swing trading especially, you're probably going to be using wider stops today on a day like today. So the risk is going to be bigger if you're using the consistent sizing that you have been for the last however many months in the range market. All right, 23 seconds. Ooh, is this going to be an inside close? Let's take a look. After 2 bare bodies in 36 minutes, one of them being this tiny little bare body, we have now had 2 in 6 minutes. Which in and of itself is not incredibly meaningful as far as, hey, do we take a trade on that? Not necessarily, but you know what it is meaningful for? Does this become a thing? At least temporarily? That's a pretty damn tight channel on a day like today. Or do we get a whole nother, do we go V-shape into, I suppose you'd call it reverse V or A-shape? Reversal. That's the question right now. If these bear bars hold up, though, the motto is still, hey, any excuse to get long. Keeping this in mind, though. You also got to consider, based on the open of the day, we're kind of in that 50-ish% retracement zone, aren't we? Which would make a lot of sense for us to enter kind of the first, not the first, but maybe the first sideways trading range, at least sustained, of the day. We had one, maybe back around 9:30 Central-ish, 9:15 Central-ish. Maybe 9 o'clock. It wasn't really sustained. All of them were less than 10 minutes long. 10 minutes or less, I should say. Right, inside close. Most inside closes we've seen in 45 minutes. I've got to update the trade counter. We took a trade. All right, well, while we wait here, let's check in with you guys. Check in with the chat here. Lee, good morning, brother. How we doing? Good to see you. Hey, John. Went back to the 40-point continuation setup. Wow. Quick recognition, John. Very good work. Very good work. He said went back to the 40-point continuation setup this morning. That's what we were taking a lot like maybe 4 months ago here on stream. Got a couple of wins on the board before the day job pulled me away just like old times. Thank you for Nico for being here with us. Yeah, so you guys see when I'm entering a trade, my my automated, well, here in Ninja Trader it's called in ATM strategy, right? It goes out 40 and 40. I think it goes out 40 and 40, or is it 20 and 20? Let me check. Yeah, it should be 40 and 40. Which is, left over. And will we revisit that if we enter a trend market? For sure. 100%. 100%. There's nothing wrong with the stop and the target being kind of arbitrary if you're in a market that can support, an arbitrary stop, take profit, which usually, at least for me, ends up being a continuation, a higher volatility continuation market. Like we saw, 3, 4, 5 months ago during tariff talk, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. Lately, the last 3 months especially, it's been range, range, range. All right, 60 seconds out. Oh, man. Oh, man, that's a couple of consecutive bear bars. Are we going to have to get short? If we close beneath this wick back here, the answer is yes. If we do not close beneath these wicks, or I guess this wick here, right? Then the answer is hell no. But if we do, if we close beneath 213, that's a stop limit sell entry for me. Which is interesting. I mean, this is how quickly things can change, especially when you're scalping. When you're swing trading, it can take a little bit more time. But when you're scalping, 15 minutes ago, it was any excuse to get long. And now it's, man, we're going to have to put on a short. Let's see here. Let's get the stop limit sell ready. Boom, I'll place it. Inside close, but I'll place it and give that about 10 more seconds, see if we can get a fill. That is not a 30-second setup. And there we go. And I will go ahead and risk the signal bar only, which is pretty damn tight. Let's see if we can get a little bear continuation push. ATR 21. Now, if we head back up in that range, I'm keeping that risk relatively tight. Could I justify risking this curl here instead where my cursor is? Yeah, you could, 100%. But if we take out the signal bar, we're heading back in the range and I don't want to participate anymore. So, you want to be in the money quickly on a scalp like this. We are in the money, just not nearly enough. Limit order out, 11.5 points. See if we can get a fill. If not quickly, then I'll pull it and we'll leave it on. Pull the limit order, that is. Yep, we're out there for better than half an ATR. All right, trade number 2 of the day. Going well thus far. Let's keep it moving. 40 seconds out here. By the way, 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart is at 23,186. I repeat, the 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart is at 23,186. So we're keeping that in mind here as we push lower. I think right now the bulls are probably looking for any reason to buy. And that might be a reason for some bulls to buy. Goodness. I'd love to put that on, but we're coming right into that 20 EMA on the 5. Can't put that on. I need one more bar here. We have 1:50 out on the 2-minute chart. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds out on the 5-minute chart. As much as I'd love to, the 20 on the 5 is right where my cursor's at. So I want to see the bears be able to take that out no problem before I get involved. All right, minute 17 out. Nice, 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 nice. 4 consecutive bear bars. You know I'm going to have to slap this one pretty hard. If we get an entry here, gonna have to slap it. That's part of discipline. 40 seconds. Now, if it grows to be some 100-point bear bar, then all of a sudden it's like, oh man. Oh man, that's an outsized bar. Probably gonna hold off. But 30 seconds, we'll have our answer here. All right, 4th consecutive bear body. If we get a nice close near the low. 10 seconds out, copy trader engaged, stop limit sell out and ready to rock. Let's get it hovering. Slap it. Beauty. Give that 30 seconds, see if we can get a push through and a fill. Suck that up even just a tap. There, right there is where I want that. 20 seconds left here. We don't get a fill, then we have not taken out the previous bar's wick low, and I do not want to get short if we don't get a fill. 10 more seconds here for a fill. There's the comp. Gotta pull it. No trade. Gotta pull it. All right, next bar here, minute 23 out. We do have 20 seconds left on the 5-minute chart. Let's pop over to the 5-minute chart. Here is the 5-minute chart. Gonna have to get a stop limit sell ready here on the 5-minute too. Gonna have to place it. I'm gonna give that 15 seconds, not 30, just because the signal bar is sizable. That would be a lot of risk. So I don't want to justify, I can't really justify putting that risk on unless I get quick follow through. So we're not going to get a fill there. That's all right. Back to the 2-minute. 35 seconds out here on the 2-minute chart. Goodness, it is non-stop action here. Got to get stop limit buy ready. Let's see how this bear bar, how this bull bar closes up. Wick back, no trade for me. Next bar here, 2 minutes. Had that bull bar close nice and clean, even though it's an inside bar. Gotta put it on. Gotta put it on. This is more, we are trading a bit more like a trend market here today. 4 months in the making, and the trend day, the trend price action kind of, I should say, seemingly a little bit more here. I'm loving it. I am loving it. But we got to be prepared if this heads right back into a range, man. We can't get caught trying to trade trends 6 times in a row. 1, 2, 3 trades. And hey, if the trend price action is turning into range price action, we got to try to recognize that ASAP. Otherwise, we're wiping everything out. $60 seconds here. All right, if we can get a nice bear close near the low of this bar, then I will have to try to get short with the stop limit sell. But if we don't get that, if we have an inside close here out of this bear bar, then this is a nothing bar. 10 seconds here. I'll get the copier engaged. A lot can change, and especially in a market like this in the last few seconds. Nothing. Inside close. Next bar, 2 minutes. We have a dual rollover coming here, 5 minute and the 2 minute, minute 54 out. Re-entering back into a little range here. It looks like the bulls might want to retest at least that, you know, maybe that 20 EMA on the 5. Not that it's, you know, the biggest, most meaningful thing in the world, but it's there. 23,185 is where that 20 EMA currently sits on the 5-minute chart. Right about there. Okay, 10 seconds until a dual rollover. The 5-minute is basically a doji. The 2-minute here, which is what you're looking at, is probably an inside close here. Let's see. Yep, closing inside that, this kind of newly developing in the last 6 to 8 minutes range. Let's see if something changes here on this 2-minute bar, minute 52. By the way, I saw, you know, I haven't even announced it, but some of you guys are already hitting it. Guess who now has the best deal always at My Funded Futures? Code BIG, baby. Best deal always at My Funded Futures. That's another stop on the scaling journey. For me, it is. Hitting all the good ones, man. Take Profit Trader, Apex, Tradeify, My Funded Futures. Those are my top 4 currently. All right, 55 seconds out. We are currently testing the 5-minute 20 EMA. That's all right. I mean, if we get a half decent close, I'm willing to face off with that thing. I don't mind. 35 seconds here. All right, baby. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. See what we get. Man, this is one of those days that you just enjoy trading. Win or lose, man, today's just an enjoyable day to trade. Good placement. Beautiful. 20 seconds, see if we can get a fill, and we will. We'll get a fill, and I'm just going to risk the signal bar, not the whole range. Just the signal bar. Because if we pull back and take out the signal bar, we're back in the range anyway. I don't need to risk the whole range. ATR 22. See if these bulls can get it going again here. Looking to get maybe about a 3/4 of an ATR at least on this trade. Decent push here out of the bulls. Good, good. Keep that up, bulls. Bears working us back a little bit here. There you go. Make another run at it. Decent close out of the bulls. Not too bad. There it is. Close to 3/4 of an ATR. Actually, pretty much 3/4 of an ATR. Good scalp. Let's move on. Next trade. All right. Minute 40 out here on the 2-minute chart. All right, less than a minute out here from the close of this 2-minute bar. Now, again, hey, you know, we're coming out of a range market, so I'm still scalping. I prefer to scalp as long as the market kind of allows for it, which, I mean, really, there's very few markets that don't really allow for it. You know what I mean? You can kind of scalp most markets as long as liquidity is there. Volatility is just dead, but that's a different story. But if you're going to scalp a day like today, this is really, really a crucial lesson for you scalpers out there, which I know a lot of you guys are if you're here. If you scalp the first, like, okay, if you take the first setup in a move, which maybe is this one, right? Yes, obviously in hindsight it works super well, but just if we remove all this, you buy the close of this bar, heading into this bar rollover, right? Because I mean that is a clean bull bar, consecutive bull bars. You take profit on this bar, right? You gotta be willing to get back in. Otherwise, the swing traders kick your ass. They destroy you. If you take the first scalp and then never get back in because you're like, okay, I won for the day. I don't want to give it back. No, it's there. Hit it. It's there. Hit it. It's there. Hit it. Otherwise, you would probably be better served swing trading. I like scalping, but you have to be willing to get back in if there's a trend. Do not just take the first trade and say, all right, and then you sit there and watch it go higher for 45 minutes. Gotta hit it. That is part of discipline, man. Big lesson. Everyone learns that part of discipline way later than just not moving stop losses. All right, 20 seconds out here. All right, inside close, next bar. Really good day here so far. Be back right after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Decent setup. Wouldn't have gotten a fill. I was watching that bar. Wouldn't have gotten a fill there. So next bar here, minute 8 out. All right, let's check in with you guys. How do you know where to see the ATR and what to look out for and know how much it is? Yeah, you just add it as an indicator. It's not really an indicator, it's more just like a heads-up data display. It's always on my screen, bottom in red, because I'm referencing it basically on every scalp, which, you know, if you're scalping, you should have some variation of volatility influence in your stop placement, what you can justify and what you can't, and your profit taking. Maybe, you know, half an ATR, a full ATR, maybe 2 ATR. I'm more of a half to a whole ATR kind of guy, at least on most scalps. In a really brutal trend market, that would likely go way up. But still, for me, I don't know about you guys, for me, and again, if you're here, you're probably more like a scalper. I prefer to trade a trend in many scalps rather than a single swing trade. That's just what I prefer. Now, to some of you guys, that might sound crazy. To some of you, that might sound like obviously what you're also into. Do whatever you want. All right, 60 seconds here. Let's see what we get. If this turns into a nice bull bar, by the way, closing near its high, I'm going to have to try to get long using a stop limit buy order. Is how we'll do it. Let's see if we can get trade number 4 of the day. There we go. That stop limit buy out and ready. And let's see here. Oh, big lag. There we go. Sometimes, you know, you gotta be careful, guys. If you're using NinjaTrader and if you trade using stop limits the way that I do, you gotta be careful. Sometimes on the rollover, it'll jump. The reason that happens is because you have a bar falling off the end. Maybe if it's a big bar falling off the end of your screen and it auto scales and adjusts. 10 seconds here. See if we can get a fill. You don't want to place it in a spot you didn't mean to place it. So something to think about. No fill, that's it. Gotta pull it as close as it is. Gotta pull it. That's the rule. 30 seconds tops, even on the best setups, is kind of my rule for stop limit entries. I want to see quick, efficient follow through on the trade idea. And if we don't get it, 30 seconds kind of being the max for me on, you know, a high quality setup. On maybe a B setup, my max is kind of 15. Make it prove itself more quickly. Then you got to pull it and move on. Next bar. 60 seconds out. All right. All right. Gotta love a day like today. Every single bar, there's potentially an idea here. And here is no different. Yes, we're coming into that what may be a little double top. I'm willing to face off. Challenge that guy. Place that. Use this opportunity. Suck it back in just a tad. That's right where I want it. Right where I want it. Now, if we get filled and it turns into a double top, yeah, we'll take out the wick low, and that's fine. We'll move on. But I'll face that off. 12 seconds left here. See if we can get a fill. Come on now. 3 seconds. No fill, gotta pull it. No trade, next bar, 90 seconds. All right, just checking again with you guys here. Scalping is just fun and fast. Swing is exciting watching it ride. Yeah, you know, there's a time and place for both. I think you probably should do a variation of both, but pick one as kind of your main. And which one do you pick? Well, it's going to depend on your personality type. Do you like to be heavily engaged in the market? Do you like to sit in a room this is kind of what you should ask yourself. Do you want to sit in a room most of the day with the door closed and think? If the answer is yes, you know, scalping is probably the way to go. If you're someone who enjoys trading and, you know, you'll check in periodically throughout the day, but you don't necessarily want to be married to your desk, then maybe swing trading is more your style. I like this. You know, I like trading. All right. By the way, here comes a small, big shrinking bull body. So we'll give it one more bar here, get a little more information. 2 minutes out. Do you recommend a prop firm or personal account for a newbie to futures? 100% a prop eval. Here's how I would do it if it was day one with the knowledge of the process that I have today. Here's how I would start completely over. I would go to Apex. I would buy a super cheap eval. Like, I don't know, depending on what the deal is at the time that you buy it and which account you go with, it'll be maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Maybe even less. Then, I would go in there and I would trade a single micro until I have edge. Because your loss is capped. Your personal monetary loss is capped at whatever you paid for the eval. And then once you have edge, I'd scale that thing as big as possible. And then if someday, you know, you want to launch into personal, 100%, have at it. Have at it. But that right there is going to be the cheapest way to find your edge. Buy a prop eval, trade one micro, and track your data. Now, the only thing stopping you from doing that is patience. That's it. That's literally it. All right. Well, here comes the rollover of this newer 2-minute bar here. Big old wick on that thing. See this? Bulls are a little bit insecure. They're a little insecure about this top. But if they can change that, I'll bite. If they can change it up, give us a nice strong bull close above that just now previous 2-minute bar's wick high. That's what I need to see to get long here, using a stop limit buy. Okay, 35 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. A minute 30 left on the 5-minute bar. So right now I'm watching the 2-minute. If this rolls over with no setup, then we will switch over to the 5-minute and see if that gives us anything. And then we'll come right back to the 2-minute. So we've got a busy next couple of minutes. Let's see what we get. 10 seconds here on the 2. And you see it close up toward 280. Not going to get it. No trade. Over to the 5. All right, here is a 5-minute chart. Let's see how this closes up. Are currently about 20 points large. Big. All right, 30 seconds. See what we get. Need to see this bull bar close near its high for me to be interested. Again, this is a 5-minute chart that we're currently looking at. It's a pretty sizable wick. I'll get the order out just in case. Nothing there. Back to the 2-minute. All right, back here on a 2-minute chart. Back home. Nice, nice. All right. Copy trader. Engaged. Stop limit buy. Engaged. Ooh. Little insecurity. I'm just going to give this 15 total seconds. That right there is a B setup. 5 seconds. No fill. Gotta pull it, man. As close as it is. Gotta pull it. No fill. All right, next bar here. Minute 37 out. Still about 3.5 minutes left on the 5-minute bar, so nothing crucial there currently. But 90 seconds here on the 2. All right, beautiful, beautiful 2-minute bar here so far. All right, bulls, hold on now. Don't grow too much. Slow it up, slow it up. That's still reasonable. That bar is about 25 points currently. 30 seconds. That's not the kind of adjustment I want to see here to enter. So we get the copy trader engaged here, ready to rock. 8 seconds out. Big old wick back out of that 2-minute bar. There's no trade there for me. Next bar here, 2 minutes. All right. What are you guys doing here so far today? I assume since you're at the #1 future scalping destination on the fucking internet, I assume you guys are scalping today. Or are we swing trading? What's up with you guys today? $50 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Whole bunch of scalping, a little bit of swing trading. You guys got the idea. You guys get it. All right, 25 seconds here. See how this bar turns out. Big old dual roll over here coming. All right. I'm going to sit here on the 2-minute. Stop limit buy ready. Gotta get ready. That's an inside close. Give it 15 seconds. See this? Wick, previous bar, close of this bar. B setup. 15 seconds total. 6 seconds left at this point. Need quick resolution. We are scalpers. Nothing there. Pull it. No trade next bar. Minute 40 out. We're kind of back into the same look that we saw at the beginning of the stream. So I'm willing to buy bear bars closing near the low within reason. $55 seconds. Within reason now, right? I don't necessarily want to see this bear bar closing beneath this wick. But I'm okay with it closing beneath this wick. This one here, though, is where I think I'll draw the line on this trade. Got to see it close above 276. Yeah, 276 and a quarter. All right, 15 seconds. Copy trader engaged. See what we get here. Boom, got to slap it. Got to get long. Quick push, ATR 18. In the money quickly, not quite enough. Just shy of half an ATR. Just shy. Let's see if these bulls can give one more run at it here. That was a good initial run, just shy. Oh, we were like a tick shy of half an ATR. Quick resolution. That's what I like to see, but oh man. Sometimes it's just how the chips fall, man. You have a target in mind? For me, I'm looking half to a whole ATR on these scalps. Just barely short of half an ATR. It's alright. It's not over till it's over. Here we go. Let's see if the bulls can give us another little run at this. 50 seconds left on this 2-minute bar. ATR up a little bit here to 19 and a half. 19.4. Our protective stop is out. Finger on the trigger here, depending on how this bar closes up. 8 seconds. Very close. There's the rollover. Cut it. Move on. Cut that rope without a second thought. Next bar here, minute 45 out. First loser of the day there. All right, let's check in here with you guys. Scalping now, swing trade earlier. A couple of 20, 25 pointers this morning. Good work. Hey, Sean, good to have you, brother. Scott, what are your thoughts on the 3-bar reversal setup? Well, I'm not sure in the context. You could probably call a lot of different things a 3-bar reversal. However, you guys see me take a 3 consecutive bar reversal setup a lot. Continuation trade. If that's what you mean, I'm all over it. All right. 20 seconds out. Let's see what we get here, baby. Man, if you guys haven't yet, hit like on the stream. I appreciate you doing so. 10 seconds. Get a stop limit buy ready. Gotta place it. 15 seconds. See if we get a fill. We will. Risk the curl only. Keep it tight. ATR 17. Risk very tight here. That's about the tightest I'd put it in this market environment. Bears are gonna take out that low and we are cut and move on. Next bar here, minute 40 out. That's trade number 5 of the day. Back-to-back losers there. And we got 90 seconds. See the resolution there? It just didn't happen quick. We got to fill, right? Stop limit buy right above this wick here. We get a fill, instant reversal. We take out this low, man. What's the reason for me to stick around? We're scalping. We're scalping. There's no reason for me to stick around, man. Cut it. Cut the rope. Move on. When you're scalping, don't give one trade the power to make your month or ruin your month. Make your week or ruin your week. Now, sometimes you'll have a trade that you know, you recycle contracts and maybe it ends up making your day kind of, yeah, fine. But no one scalp should be making your... Now, a collection of scalps can, of course, make your week or your month, but no one scalp should make or ruin your week or month. All right, 15 seconds here. Big old wig. I don't know if we're going to get anything on this bar. All right. All right. If this bear bar, not that it's going to stay a bear bar necessarily, but if we get a bear bar closing near its low beneath 23,256, well, 255.50-ish. All of a sudden, I got to get short with a stop limit sell. 90 seconds, we'll know. All right. 40 seconds out. Not a lot of decision making going on this bar. At least not yet. A lot can change in 30 seconds. 5 seconds. We're not going to get anything. Inside close, next bar here, 2 minutes. All right, halfway through this 2 minute bar. Let's see how this closes up. You see this? Alternating. Very much so alternating, but if we get the setup, you know, it's been a lot of inside closes. This one wasn't an inside close, but it was a giant wick. Giant, quote unquote, right? 40 seconds. If we see this bear bar close beneath this wick here, lower than 255-ish, all of a sudden, I have a stop limit sell order out and we're trying to get short. Can you believe it? It's just back and forth today. Any excuse to get long, any excuse to get... It's not really any excuse to get short at this point, but this would be a pretty good excuse to get short. 10 seconds. Stop limit sell engaged, ready to rock. See if we can place it. I will. That's about 15. Yep, we got a fill. Signal bar. ATR 18. If these bears can take it down through here for me. Bulls trying to repeat the little pattern here. Let's see if they can. "35 seconds left here on this 2 minute bar. Volatility increasing a little bit here on these last couple of bars, which is good. And when ATR is at 20, this time of day on a 2 minute chart, it's a beautiful thing. We don't want that to tank off now. All right, here comes the rollover. There is the rollover. No decision for me to make on that bar. Got the 5-minute rolling over here in 35 seconds. Not a lot going on over there on the 5-minute either. Kind of just a big wick bar. All right, protective stop is out right above the signal bar here. That's a fine place for that to sit as volatility increases here. Kind of offloaded to the computer. The question is, can those bears step in and get it done for us before we get stopped? $20 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Those bulls are trying. The bears are also trying to hold them down, man. All right, new 2-minute bar here. Come on now, Bears. Get it done. That was a weak push through that the Bears gave us. Put us a little in the muddy. Kind of weak. This is one of those sequences where the risk just gets offloaded to the computer because you see each of these bull bodies. Would that be a buy decision on its own? Hell no, it wouldn't. No, it would not. Those bull bodies are a little bit embarrassing for the bulls. So I would not be getting long, which means I do not manage before the stop. Because there's no buy decision to be made, right? A buy decision when I'm flat puts me long. A buy decision when I'm short puts me flat. Halfway through this 2-minute bar. ATR dipping a point or two down to 18.7. Interesting little close there. Kind of a doji, small body bear bar. And taking this thing bar by bar here. Well, back to break even here on the scalp. All right, Bears. Now do what you should have done the first time. Push us through, give us a full ATR. Now it's personal, baby. But I'd take 3/4 of an ATR. ATR 19.3 as we currently sit. 20 EMA on the 5-minute charts at 23,230. So it's not in the way. Not quite in the way there. Man, not the best close there out of our bears. Definitely not the best close there. Let's see if they can get it done for us here. It's a little better. ATR 18.4. All right, I'm running a poll. We are running a poll. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hit that poll in the chat. I don't know, man. I mean, it's set in stone at this point. The rules are the rules. Oof. As ATR dips, we're now beneath 18 on the ATR. Oh, man. We are dead set 50-50 on the poll. All right. Let's see here. I'm not interested in half an ATR, Bears. I need at least 3/4. Maybe scalping, man, but gotta get what I need. Justify the structure here of the trade. Ah, you guys. Starts to go in my favor a little bit. The poll starts leaning in terms of yes. Embarrassing close out of the Bears. Embarrassing. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Inside close there out of the Bears. Take it down through. Give me 3/4 of an ATR. Bulls are trying to step in. Didn't quite give me what I needed here. Discipline, man. Still need my 3/4 of an ATR. Close. No cigar. Take it through, Bears. Do it. Do it to them. Limit order out. Limit buy. Can we get a fill? And we are out. 56% of you believed in me and were correct. And the other 44% of you, the probability was in your favor. Yeah, hey, that's one of those, man. You don't think about it that way, right? But it gets close to your stop, turns around, turns into a winner. Okay, you don't think about it that way, though. You only think about it when it gets close to your take profit, turns around, stops you out. But, you know, I will acknowledge that it happens in your favor as well. So, keep a level head, man. Best of your ability. That was trade number 6 on the day, baby. Probably the most interesting of the day as well. All right, we don't need any fraudulent votes, so I am ending that poll. All right, baby. 25 seconds out here. Good to have you. Good to have you. Everyone new here, man, it's good to have you. Hit like on the stream. And it will be in your feed tomorrow morning when we are live yet again. But we are not done here today. Not by a long shot. 7 seconds. Essentially a big old doji close. Nothing there. Trying to push through the 20 EMA on the 5 minute. That 20 EMA on the 5 minute currently sits at 235. Right up here. So we are trying to push through it. Still on the same 5 minute bar as the break of the 20 EMA on the 5 minute. Again, you're looking at a 2 minute chart. We have a dual rollover coming here. Minute 40 out from both the 5 minute and the 2 minute rolling over simultaneously. We are action-packed today. 57 seconds out. And we got something maybe we might have to put on here. Whole bunch of consecutive bear bars. 7 bars with a single small bull body mixed into those 7. 6 out of 7 are bear bodies. Granted, 2 of them are small. But that's all right. 35 seconds out. Dual rollover incoming. 5 minute and the 2 minute simultaneously. We are currently looking at the 2 minute. And if we get it, I will trade it on the 2 minute chart. This one. But I need that bear body to close much, much closer to the low. Bulls are wicking it back upside. saying, yeah, this one belongs to us. Even if it's just a tick. Let's see here, 10 seconds. Brutal. Brutal. Come on, Bears. Embarrassing. No trade for me. All right, guys, I'll be back after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Right back. All right, welcome back. Minute 15 out here from the close of this 2-minute bar. Let's see if we get something to put on. "45 seconds here." Hey, just one more time, and hey, if you like scalping, hit like on the stream. Scalping live every day. And it makes your life easy. Puts it right on the homepage every morning. That's how YouTube works these days. 10 seconds out. Let's see if it closes up as a doji. Doji close incoming. Nothing on that 2-minute bar. There's the rollover. Next bar, minute 58. All right, here we go. Now, I gotta tell you, compared to a little bit earlier this morning, is the market range bound? It's very soft bull and bear channels at this point. They're soft, okay? Especially since about 11:30 Central. You can see it on the chart there. They're much softer than they were earlier. But do I start trading it like a range? Right now, I don't think so. A couple of trades from now, I might be saying, yeah, we should be trading this like a range now. But right now, discretionary decision making, I don't think I can start trading this like a range quite yet. At least not a tight range. 45 seconds out. Let's see if we have a decision to make on this bar. This is where the decision making gets even a little more foggy than it already is. Again, as traders, we always live in a fog. The business model, though, is just procure a little bit of edge. Scale the sample size big. As big as you can. We're not taking one trade a day around here. Man, 250 trades a year as a scalper, it's not enough to get the sample size going. All right. 10 seconds. Copy trader, engaged. Stop limit buy, engaged. Let's see. I'll place it. I'm only going to give it 15 seconds, though. I want very, very quick resolution. Otherwise, this is a little too soft of a bull channel for me to be comfortable sitting long, 28 seconds into the bar near the high end of what could be a soft bull channel, right? All right, pull it, 15 seconds, no fill. Next bar, minute 40 out. All right, we are 10 seconds out here. Looks like it's going to close as a doji. Running a new poll here in the chat. Hit that up, curious to see. Minute 50 out here. All right, this is really, really interesting. This is where the edge starts to get, in my opinion, a little lower. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't, or I guess for me, I should say me, doesn't mean I shouldn't trade it. But it starts to get a little bit less clear, just straight up. That's what's happening. It's getting a little less clear here. For me, it really does depend on how this bear bar closes up. Do we close beneath this wick? If so, I'm looking more for this whole thing as being the range. You can see we tested beneath there and got bought up. Basically a wick or two. Maybe two, 3 wicks. I'm sorry, ticks beneath this wick low. Now if this closes as an inside bar, I need more information. If we close beneath this wick, okay, copy trader engaged. Stop limit sell ready. Boom, place that there. Give that 20 seconds. Now I'm gonna give it 15 seconds just because of this wick here. I would call this like maybe a, I'm gonna be concerned. I'm gonna call it a B setup and no fill, so I gotta pull it as close as it is. As much as you want to leave it on, man, discipline's part of the game because we are, by the way, right at the 20 EMA on the 5. So 15 seconds was the right call there to pull it after. No fill. If we had quick resolution and I'm filled in 5 seconds, great. If it takes 45, it's not the same trade anymore, right? All right, minute 20 out here. Next bar. Whole bunch of scalpers in here. Those of you guys who have voted in the poll in the chat already. Man, 74% scalpers. 9% hold and pray, baby. All right, 40 seconds here. Let's see what we get on this 2-minute bar. Okay, let's see here. This is actually an interesting structure. It's not the highest quality trade, but it's enough for me to put that out and get a quick fill. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck this up and just risk the signal bar's curl. That's okay. That makes sense for me to structure that. And now let's see here if we can get a half-decent bull push up back toward the higher end of... There we go. This range here. It's a decent structure there for a little scalp, at least for me. Again, ATR 19.5. See if we can get about maybe half an ATR here, at least quickly. Otherwise, things can shift while we're in the trade, of course. Oh, bull's a little harder push. Boo, beautiful. Better than just about half an ATR now that ATR jumped up to 20. I'll take that. Good little scalp. Let's move on. It's pretty much the high of day as far as P&L currently. All right, 20 seconds out here. Kind of an interesting little bare body. Yeah, I'm going to want one more bar here. Here comes the rollover. Let's get one more bar. Well, I gotta tell you guys, this right here, this is the most rangy range we've seen all day. Pretty much all day. Which, you know, makes sense, but volatility, interestingly, is still at 22, which is, well, it's ATR, right? So we're on a 2-minute chart. So ATR here on the 2-minute chart is at 22, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 2 points higher than it was damn near 2 hours ago. So we're maintaining volatility, which is very good to see. It's just the price action is now forming more of a range, which we have not seen, at least for this long today. So I'm actually going to leave that out just for now so we can, you know, visualize it, see it. "76% of you guys are scalpers. Love to see it. You're in the right spot, man. I'm right there with you." We've got a range going on here after some harder intraday trends earlier this morning. Very, very good to see that happening here in the market. That's very good to see. It has been months, maybe 3-4 months since we've had a day like we had this morning as far as price action. All right, 60 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Coming right into the kind of flat top. It's always going to be a range, right? It's never an exact level. The line is just kind of symbolic. It's always going to be kind of a range. Don't hold that line to the tick. Here comes the rollover. Okay, next bar here. We need a little more information than that. That's not quite enough. You guys are not yet. Hey, subscribe to the channel. I'm live scalping every single day. And for those of you guys who love scalping, I think it's kind of underrepresented. Yeah, we're hitting it hard daily. Minute 30 out. Let's see what we get here. 2-minute chart. $40 seconds here. I mean, we are testing that 20 EMA on the 5. Again, hey, it's not the holy grail at all. Not even close. But it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the bulls have been trying to buy that thing up for the last 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So we'll let this bar roll over, look to get a little bit more information here. All right, so we are 35 minutes out from the FOMC minutes hitting. The minutes are essentially kind of a backlog of the previous FOMC meeting. It kind of tells you what was talked about behind closed doors, summarizes things, oftentimes gives you some maybe never before seen comments. This isn't 2022. You know, the minutes today are kind of, will volatility jump a little bit when they drop? Sure. But in 2022, it was more meaningful because 2022 was just inflation talk every hour of every day because that was obviously the primary force in the market. Today, you know, would I go out of my way to trade the minutes? No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be flat when the minutes hit at 1 o'clock here, about 35 minutes out. But, you know, I'm not going to sit around for 45 minutes after the minutes hit, scared of volatility, because within 90 seconds of those things hitting, we're back to normal, essentially. At least we likely will be. All right, 50 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. That last bar closed as just a brutal little doji. Nothing to do there, obviously. Let's see what we get. By the way, guys, Take Profit Trader, the deal is still active. 40% off and no activation fee when you use code BIG, B-I-G, over at Take Profit Trader. Which, again, I say this basically every day. For those of you guys who are new, Take Profit is by far, in my opinion, the best if you're trying to bootstrap going full-time. Daily payouts, you need money coming in, life is expensive. And you're not waiting once you are over the buffer in the pro account. Those daily payouts are very helpful for trying to bootstrap going full-time if that's where you currently are. Which I think a lot of you guys are probably in that boat. So hit up code BIG, best deal always, over at Take Profit Trader. Right now, 40% off, no activation fee. Which is the best deal, essentially. One of the best deals they've ever run. Well, nothing on that last bar. We're minute 25 out of the current 2-minute bar. We're getting kind of stuck, by the way, to that 5-minute 20 EMA. Currently, that 5-minute 20 EMA sits right about here, where my cursor is here on the 2-minute chart now. That right there is about where the 20 EMA is on the 5-minute, which, again, nothing more, nothing less than a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's there. It's something to consider. Again, not the holy grail, not at all. I'm not taking trades based on it, but we know people are. What does that do? That influences price a little bit. All right, new 2-minute bar here. Still nothing. Nothing on that bar either, hey. Take it bar by bar. Every bar is a new opportunity. We might get a setup here. That's the beauty of the 2-minute. As a scalper, you're never more than 2 minutes out, really, from a setup. Keeps you engaged. All right, 35 seconds out. All right, let's check in here with you guys. Roy says, Apex, Take Profit Trader, Tradeify, and the fourth stop here that now offers code BIG for the best deal always is My Funded Futures. MFF, My Funded Futures. And I'm loving it. They now have code BIG, best deal always. I am very selective with who I grace code BIG with. And they are stop number 4 on my scaling journey here. Right, we are a minute 25 out. Need a little bit more information after that stronger bull body coming right into that little flat top. As we know, these brutal little ranges, we have not seen a lot of these today. So you have to think, well, you know, what does that mean as far as probability? Well, it means probability of breakout is probably a little bit higher than what we've been seeing the last 3 or 4 months in any given range, because that was the whole day, was a range. Today, this range is the first range really we've had basically all day. It's lasted about 45 minutes here. We'll need a little bit more information. This bar will help us out in making a decision. 45 seconds out. All right. All right, copy trader, engaged. Stop limit buy, engaged. Oh. Did you see that rollover? Kind of glitched. I missed it. That's okay. It's part of the game. Really, really quick follow through. That's all right. Next bar here, minute 45 out. Now what happens there, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream. Here in NinjaTrader, when a bigger bar falls off the end, it wasn't bigger, but it was moderately sized. When it falls off the end of your screen, NinjaTrader auto adjusts. And on the rollover, when you're trying to place a stop limit, every once in a while, it'll glitch and move your order like 5 points. And you gotta be very, very careful not to place it in the wrong spot. At least I need to be. On top of that, that popped through very, very fast. So that was, I'm not blaming Ninja. That was just human error. That's all right. It's all right. Next bar here, 65 seconds. All right, now remember here, this is not high of day, right? High of day was way back at the open. High of day here is basically at 23,431-ish. We're still well over 100 points away. 135, 140 points away. Shrinking bull body here. See this nice consecutive growing bull bars, shrinking bull body. Gotta hold off. All right, guys. Hey, that's going to do it for the live show here today. I'm off to hit lunch. Hey, make sure you use code BIG. Best deal, literally always, whenever you use it at Take Profit Trader. Great for trying to bootstrap going full time. Apex, when it's time to scale and get big on the numbers, Apex is the stop you're going to want to make. Tradeify, skip the eval. My Funded Futures, the fresh stop here. Stop number 4 with code BIG is a fantastic firm, and I'm just diving into My Funded Futures, and I am loving it thus far. All right, guys. Hey, like the stream so you get recommended tomorrow. It makes your life easy. You open the app, and it's right there. We will be scalping live every single day. All right, guys. Have a good afternoon. Hey, be patient. Let the scalps come to you, and when they do, fucking hit it hard, man. All right. See you in the morning. Have a good afternoon.